Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the stream. I know it's been a while. We haven't done one of these since I think it was Wednesday was the last stream, the day before Thanksgiving. So I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I know I did. It was a very relaxing break. I was glad that I was on vacation out of town on Friday because the markets were very red. It looks like that's turning around today. So I was glad to have missed that. Didn't want anything to do with it. Didn't want to be brought down on after a nice Thanksgiving on Black Friday. I didn't want to be brought down by the bad markets, but good morning, Rich. Good to see you back in the stream. Looks like we're getting some of the regulars in already. So good morning, everyone. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving break. Hopefully you guys didn't look at the markets too much on Friday when we were red. But, today it's looking like things are going to be a little bit better, a little bit greener. DWAC is moving up. It looks like PROG is also moving up a touch in the after hours. Sundial, not so much. It's more stagnant. But crypto, if anyone is in crypto, and good morning, Silver. Good morning. If anyone is in crypto, then good for you because cryptos are doing quite nicely, actually. Cryptos are up quite a bit. Bitcoin's up 5%, Ethereum's up 6%, Solana up 9.9%. Dogecoin, actually, I noticed, was up 9%, almost 10%. And even Shiba Inu, even though it's been on a bit of a dip lately, it's up 3% today. And Crypto.com coin is doing decently. It's up 3% as well. I haven't actually watched what's happened with Crypto.com coin. It looks like over the past couple of days, it's taken a little bit of a tumble. It almost got to $1, and now it's down around 76 cents. So interesting stuff. Good morning, Nick Hood, and good morning, Francis. Jussie Smollett hoax trial and Maxwell trial starts today. Interesting. I've not been keeping up with that kind of news. I try to stay away from the news and the media. I think it's a downer a lot of the time. Good morning, Maria. Good to see all the regulars back in the stream. Welcome back. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving break. Hopefully it was relaxing, and hopefully nobody paid too much attention to the markets on Friday when they were very, very red. So, hopefully we'll have a better day today. It's looking like we will. If you take a look, I'll pull up SPY. Looks like we're up quite a bit in the after hours on Friday. So we just jumped up. We closed around 456 on SPY, and now we're up around 464. So everything is turning up. Millhouse, everything's going well thus far. Kevin H, good morning. And BFR just hit a 52-week high. It's going nuts. I'm almost 100%, says everything, man. Let's pull up. Well, let's first of all pull up the Sundial chart right there, but then we'll pull up BFR right here and see what that's all about. So BBVA, Banco Francis SA, ADR sponsored is what BFR is. Interesting. It's not pulling up the chart for some reason. And Rich says, what are you hearing about Lucid? I have not actually heard anything about Lucid over break. I've not been looking at stocks. I've been paying no attention to the markets, but it looks like Lucid rebounded. It looks like it did pretty good on Friday as opposed to the overall markets, which were tanking. Let's see if there is any news for Lucid, though. What have I missed on Lucid? Has anything interesting been going on? Doesn't look like there's anything other than why this expert thinks Apple Car will see a launch schedule different from iPad and Apple Watch. Interesting. So that's something I've heard about. I've heard that Apple is making EVs. One of my friends was talking about that. I've heard about that. I heard about it a while ago, but one of my friends was saying that it's going to be bigger than Tesla. I don't know about that. Maybe it will. But it looks like Lucid's doing pretty good. It looks like they're up on Friday. They're up in the after hours in the pre-market. So things are looking good for Lucid. They could continue running. Who's to say? It looks like they did top out around, I think it was $60 was near their peak. 56 it looks like maybe is where it was $60. Yeah, so around $60 they topped out. We'll see if they can break 60, they could go higher. 60 is going to be a tough level to break. That's where they topped out the last time about a year ago. So we'll see. And Silver says airlines rebounding. Airlines rebounding. So AL I think is American Airlines. Yeah, it looks like they were down, and yeah, they are rebounding a bit. Yeah, after that COVID scare, people got worried about the new variant. So it looks like airlines are rebounding. On Friday, they started the rebound. They're up again in the pre-market today. Hopefully that continues. I think the news overhypes that kind of stuff. I think they overhype it a little bit. They want something to talk about, and they potentially make it seem a lot worse than it is. So airlines definitely took a big hit, but they are back on their way up. So that's good. And Rich M says, everyone hit the like button. That would be appreciated. We've actually got 36 viewers right now. And Ludwig, I will answer your question in just a second, but Zach Taylor says, I don't want the Dow and SPY to go up anymore. Yeah, I know. I mean, look at the SPY. It's been crazy. The SPY has been moving up and up and up. So, it did bump up in after hours, and now it's moving up in pre-market. But Ludwig, yes, I have been taking a peek at the Ortex. I didn't look at it on Friday, but if you take a peek at the Ortex, you'll see, if you remember correctly, then on Wednesday we had about 313 million shorts. It looks like about 30 million shorts have actually closed their positions, and you can see that exemplified by this yellow line right here, actually. So recently, looks like probably on Friday, a lot of shorts started to cover their Sundial positions. So shorts are starting to slowly creep out of Sundial. They've started to cover a little bit. That could be a very good indication, right? Obviously, a lot of shorts were in Sundial for a while. They wanted Sundial to move down. They pushed it down for a while. And now that maybe they think it's gotten low enough, it's below 70 cents, a lot of shorts are potentially looking to cover, get out of their short positions. They might not think it's going down that much further. They might not be able to justify maintaining those short positions. So, yeah, certainly some shorts, about 10% of the shorts, about 30 million of the 300 million that we had did cover. So I actually just noticed this morning. I just looked today. I wasn't doing any stock stuff on Friday. It was just a break for me, but looks like about 30 million shorts have covered already. So that is very interesting. So I'm excited to see what happens with Sundial, right? If more shorts cover, maybe more will. Maybe it's an indication that we've reached a bottom with Sundial. It would certainly make sense, right? This is where we bottomed out last time, around 60 cents. So we could definitely start bouncing up again, I think. I'm ready for a bounce in Sundial, at least. All right. So JL says, didn't China steal Apple's EV plans? Maybe they did. I don't know. That sounds like something China would do. So let's see. Did China steal Apple EV plans? So, okay. This is old news, right? But this article says it was published January 30th of 2019. So a second Apple employee was charged with stealing self-driving car project secrets, and he faces up to 10 years in prison and a maximum fine of $250,000. So it looks like, I don't know if it was China behind this, but some Apple employees were certainly stealing some plans, it looks like, or at least have been charged with stealing plans. So it's possible. And Ludwig says he's about to buy some more Sundial. Yeah, this could be a good place to do it. It could potentially, let me see the option chain if I'm interested. Maybe it's not a bad place to sell options. It's not. Well, actually, that's just December 23rd. It might not be a bad place to sell options. You could. I don't know. It's an okay deal. It's the premiums aren't that huge. And Whirls Rizvi, what's up? Good morning. Welcome back to the stream. And Seem Blind 2, this is not financial advice. I will not do anything based on this video except sell grandma. Is that a reference to Hoot Money? He always talks about grandma. I never say anything about grandma, but I know Hoot Money does. So good to see some of the regulars back in the stream. Good morning, everybody. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving break. Hopefully a happy Thanksgiving, and you didn't let Friday bum you all out too much, because it looks like Friday was just a temporary move in the markets. If you look, we've mostly recovered what happened on Friday, right? We're almost back to the lows of Thursday, so we're getting there. Looks like a lot of buying. It looks like a lot of people, ended up getting tricked on Friday. A lot of people ended up selling out, and then we just bumped up in the after hours. And very interesting to see that maybe some of the market makers or some of the institutions wanted to push stocks down to create a false sense of worry. When the new variant was coming out, a lot of people might have been worried about that. They might have been selling their stock, and as soon as a lot of people paper hands their SPY, and all kinds of stocks, right, that make up the SPY, a lot of people might have been selling those, worried about the virus and the potential that it could really reignite some lockdowns and damage the economy. A lot of people might have been worried about that on Friday. Well, as soon as a lot of people had sold their stock, it looks like it just bounced right back up. Actually, this is today's pre-market. It looks like, so interesting. Or no, actually, no, it's that's the after hours. Yep. So cool stuff. Good to see the manipulation as usual. So there we go. And let's see. Guns, Cats, and Radio says NRX is going crazy now. What's your view? Is that the crypto NRX? I'll take the coin market cap view of it. Let's see. NRX. I think. No, that might not be. That might be a stock. NRX. So Nephrogenics Inc. Is that the one? Or is it a crypto? I'm not sure. On crypto.com, it doesn't really come up with anything. It comes up right here as Anarchy. Nrx. So I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but yeah, I'm not sure what Nrx is, if it's the ticker or what. But Silver says, I remember China paying Apple from a lawsuit with truckloads of pennies back around 2015. Wow, yeah, that's actually a good deal. If the pennies are made of copper, they could be worth more than a penny. I know that's a thing. My dad used to collect pennies that were copper and stuff. So, and nickels too. I think the nickels, they're still made of nickel. And you can actually get more money, I think, right now at least. I think it's worth more to have a nickel, to meddle in the nickel, than the nickel is worth. So, not a bad idea to stock up on nickels. And JL, is she hot though? I don't know what you're talking about. And NRX says guns, cats, and radios. Yeah, I looked for NRX right here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about if it's a ticker or what. But Pablo, good morning, happy holidays. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving break, and you too, Zach. Had a nice break. Good to hear it. And Manny C, good morning. Good to see you back in the stream. And Silver saying money movers trigger auto sell trades set in people's portfolios like lightning, black cat, fireworks. Yeah, that is something. Yep. Definitely. A lot of people sometimes have stop limits, or stop gains and all that. So, if they see a stock dropping too much, then their portfolios auto sell. A lot of people do that. And it looks like they got messed up on Friday. It looks like institutions might have been taking advantage of the fact that some people might not have been minding their portfolios on Friday, right? They might have been with the family, not looking at the markets crashing and noticing their portfolios auto-selling their positions, and they made a nice little profit on the buys that they did on Friday. So NRXP. Okay, NRXP. Oops, NRXP. There we go. So Nrx Pharmaceuticals. Okay, I see. I got you. There we go. There's the ticker. So pharmaceuticals. These are typically pretty hit or miss. So they rise 39% after completing Xysami analysis. All right. So what's that all about? In pre-market, they were up 39%. They completed an analysis to identify clinical evidence that indicates a substantial improvement after treatment with, it looks like, their medication in patients with critical COVID-19 and respiratory failure. Okay. So this could be good. I mean, it looks like COVID will be here for a bit. So this is potentially a good stock, especially with the new worries about the new strain, right? A lot of people might be interested in this one. We'll see, though. I mean, a lot of the strain news, I think, gets overhyped. Not to guarantee that it's overhyped. It might be as bad as they say, but I think the news likes to talk about those new strains a lot. So we'll see. I mean, NRX, it could be a good one. It certainly is up a lot. It was up a lot on Friday, and it's up a lot today. So looks like they shared. So the Israel Institute for Biological Research reported data on the BRILIFE vaccine against the Delta variant. All right. Okay, so it looks like, is that a vaccine they were working on? It might be. All right, so yeah, this is a potentially promising play, especially, if the media keeps hyping up the new variant and the risk that it poses. This stock could do pretty well. I don't know if it's, obviously, I don't know if it's a long-term hold. It might be. It was up at highs back when fears were really high. Looks like it was up around highs of $60, even $76.99 at one point. So, yeah, this could certainly do really well. I don't know if it'll get back to the old highs. I don't know if people will ever be as afraid as they once were, but it could certainly pump up a little bit, and it already has. So, anyone who's in on it, good job getting in early. And 1 second, guys, I will be right back. I just need to turn on the fan real quick. I don't know why I always forget to do that, but I will be right back. So 1 second. Okay, there we go. And I don't know. It's cold in the mornings, but as soon as I turn on this ring light that we've got right here, it starts getting warm, and having all the monitors on, I don't know. So, looking at the POW, any advice, says Tim Boone. POWW, is that a stock, or are you talking about Powell? So, at the POW, POWW, maybe you're talking about ammoinc.com. Let's see. Is this really an ammo site? POWW. It makes sense with the ticker POW. So, Ammo Inc. Let's see if we can't find a description of them that could give us an an idea of what they're all about. So Ammo Inc. designs, develops, manufactures, markets, and sells ammunition and ammunition components for products in use of handguns and long guns in the United States and internationally. Yeah, so I mean, definitely. I mean, I've heard that we're in a not just a coin shortage, but a bullet shortage. So if that's what you're talking about, then this could be a good one. I mean, it certainly has gone up quite a bit already. Who knows how much longer the shortages will last, but I know that ammo's gotten pretty darn expensive, and it looks like, yeah, over the past 2 years, up from 96 cents. Now we're on 6.25, so it looks like they did just have a decent earnings call, right? We actually tanked a little bit on it, but not that much. It looks like still increasing earnings quarter over quarter, so all in all, not that bad. Let's see, Risky Seeds, good morning, and Lizbetty Gonzalez, hi Funware. Yeah, let's see what Funware's doing. I haven't taken a peek at it yet, but let's see. Looks like did it have a good day on Friday? I think it did have a good day. Yeah, it had a meh day. It wasn't crazy good. It wasn't crazy bad. It looks like they moved down about 10 cents, but they weren't near the lows of the pre-market. So looks like they've slowly been moving up in today's pre-market though. So good stuff for Funware. We'll see. I mean, if Funcoin really takes off, then that could certainly be very good for them. Or if they get a guaranteed contract with Truth Social, that could also be very good. We'll just have to see. I mean, there are a couple catalysts now for Funware, so it's a real possible situation that they could rise quite a bit. If everything falls through, they could obviously fall quite a bit. But in the meantime, there's definitely some volatility that people could trade off of. So Salesforce call, says Nick Hood. I've not been keeping an eye on Salesforce. Let's see. So what's the ticker for that? CRM. That's it. So it looks like, did we just have the Salesforce call, or is it coming up? Oh, okay, it's coming up. So let's see where they've been. Let's see where Salesforce has been. So it's been falling. It looks like people are expecting a bad call potentially. Let's look at the past year. There we go. So they've been having decent calls. They've been improving their earnings quarter over quarter. It looks like moving from 2020 to 2021, they actually decreased a bit, but this quarter they've been increasing, and maybe people are expecting that won't be the case. Who's to say? But they have been falling lately, leading into this earnings call that we're having on the 30th. So what is that, tomorrow? Yeah, so we'll see what happens with Salesforce. It could definitely be volatile. I mean, if the earnings come out good, then I could see them getting back up close to their highs. Maybe not instantly, but that could certainly change the direction they're trading in, right? A lot of people might be thinking that they'll do not great on earnings. Potentially they're right. Who's to say? It looks like we're up a decent amount, actually, in the pre-market. We're up to 289 around there, and we closed around 283, so maybe people are changing their minds. Maybe it's going to be moving up. We'll see. So Sammy, hi. Any hopes of LGVN going to 45 at Bell? Is that Longeveron? LGVN. Yeah, so Longeveron. Looks like any chance of it going to 45? Let's see where it's been. I have so it hit highs of 45 in the past, and it actually bounced off of that twice, which isn't a great pattern. I think the last time we saw that was with ATER when we got stopped out around $20. So let's remove that right there. There we go. So Longeveron, yeah, got stopped down at 45 twice. I mean, there's a chance it could go to 45 again, right? It looks like a lot of these stocks are starting to turn around. They had cruddy days on Friday. Some of these more memeier plays. Let's see if Longeveron has a high short interest. LGVN. So let's see what we've got. So yeah, very high short interest actually as a percentage of the free float. 86% of the free float is short. 2.35 million shares. It looks like it just has a very low short or very low free float. But yeah, 86% of the free float short on Longeveron. So definitely, I mean, let's see, when did those shorts originate? When did they start getting into Longeveron? Okay, it looks like a lot of them started shorting when Longeveron's price moved up. So we'd probably need Longeveron to get a bit higher. I mean, decent. Some of them covered, actually, it looks like, and that pushed up the stock quite a bit. That's what pushed us up to 45. So yeah, I think we would need to get a bit higher, higher than even 45 probably, to cause the next rally on the short squeeze front, right? Because a lot of the shorts were actually probably getting in that are there currently. A lot of them were probably getting in at these higher prices. So we'll see. We'll see what we can do with LGVN. But It could, I mean, we could move up today, right? There's no reason we couldn't. I have been keeping up with LGVN the most, so we could certainly go up, but who's to say? Okay, and let's see. DWAC filed on October 28th should be seen a rollover. Typically occurs after 30 days. December 3rd, Congress must deal with budget spending. Could be a good time for Trump to announce. It could be. It could be. We'll see what he says. I think that anything he says is probably going to be good for the stock, right? I don't think him talking would hurt it. Maybe it would, but I don't think that would be the case. Let's see. So Tim Boone, yes. He says yes. I'm not sure what the yes is in response to. And Silver says, my dad and uncle are reloading themselves instead of buying ammo. Interesting. And Silver says, GF's chip shortage play. GFS. Global Foundries. Okay. So let's see over the past year. Wow. Yeah. So this has been doing pretty good. If you bought, it looks like at the IPO at 44.48 was the low. Then you are in the money, and we've got an earnings call coming up tomorrow. So that's for GFS. Right there, and it, maybe not. Actually, yeah, no, it is tomorrow that we've got the earnings call. So this, yeah, it could be good. Is it a chip shortage, or is it a chip company? Let's see. Is that what you were talking about? Let's see if that's what you were saying. So their profile operates as a semiconductor foundry worldwide. Yep. It could be good. I mean, that chip shortage has certainly been lasting for a while. Who's to say when it will end? And Silver says, if new lockdown occurs, I hope we buy up tons of oil to refill the reserves. I hope we refill the reserves. It didn't seem like that great of a decision to start releasing the reserves of oil. That I forget exactly when we did that. Maybe it was Wednesday, but it didn't seem like the best idea, right? I mean, just to lower the price, it's not like we were in a real emergency and couldn't get any more because we filled the reserves back when oil was cheaper. So now we'll just have to pay more to refill the reserves. I mean, unless the price of oil falls, and it was a temporary push down in the price that release of oil did. So I don't know, unless there's a long-term plan to get more oil, then it's not looking great for the oil reserves. But DJ Andre, is PROG going to fill that gap down another 10% to 299? Let's take a peek at PROG. We got PROG actually right here. We have it on the right side, on the right top right chart. So 1 year, 1 day. Is there a gap that it's got? I don't see any gaps. Down to 299. I don't see any gaps. So looks like there aren't really any gaps on PROG stock. It looks like if there ever was a gap, you could say this was maybe a little gap right here. But looks like that's been filled. So I don't really see a gap to 299 at this point. But maybe it could fall lower. It could fall lower. There's no reason it couldn't. We are on the downtrend, you'll see, with PROG stock. So even though it looks like we've started consolidating a little bit, there's no reason that we couldn't have just done this for Friday and maybe moved up a little bit in today's pre-market. We could start moving down again with PROG. So that's a possibility. So Rico, good morning. Anyone loading up on DWAC and Sundial? Yeah, DWAC, let's take a peek. It looks like they are up to $44. I wish I was paying more attention on Friday and to grab some at 37.17. That was a pretty low for DWAC, and then they were up at highs of 46. So that was the perfect opportunity for a nice little day trade right there. You could have made quite a bit on DWAC because it was basically just a straight, or rather an exponential line moving up. If you bought down below like $39, you were making money, and you're still in the green there. So good morning, Ambition. Welcome back. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. And Silver says, if new lockdowns occur, I hope we buy up tons of oil. Okay, yeah, we saw that, yeah. And Rich M says, Dr. Fauci, I think, says lockdowns might be necessary. Yeah, he might do it. Or he might try to. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'd prefer not, but we'll see what happens. And Wilton Forbes says 1,000 Sundial. Yeah, 1,000 Sundial. Nice. Yeah, Sundial, it's getting pretty darn cheap now. If you look at the past year, you can see we're down around the lows of last time. We're getting pretty darn close to the lows that we were at before. I think 61 was our low, and we actually hit 62 yesterday, or not yesterday. When did we hit that? Yeah. Yesterday's pre-market, we had 62.8 cents. So now we're up around 66. So we'll see. Maybe this is the beginning of the rebound. You guys can see, for those of you who are new, I'll pull up the Sundial short interest We'll pull that up and we'll take a peek at what it's got for us. But some of the shorts have started to cover. About 10% of the shorts looks like they covered on Friday, because the current short interest is sitting at 283 million. And if you guys remember, on Wednesday it was 313, so about 30 million shorts covered. We missed it. We weren't streaming on Friday, but that's what happened with Sundial. So Rocky Mountain Gobblers, I recently bought $400 worth of ammo. The store was well stocked. Nice. I think last I went to Walmart, I only recently realized that Walmart has an ammo section. It was just in the back of the store in the corner. So I never realized, but I looked, and a lot of the ammo was gone. But that was a while ago. That was a couple months ago. So maybe it's back. Maybe it's back now. But I was surprised to see that, there were only like one or two types of ammo in the whole shop. It was interesting. And guys, I will point out that we have got currently 94 viewers and 41 likes on the stream. So if we could get up to maybe 50, 55, 60 likes, we would only need another 10 or so people to do it. And that would be much appreciated, because I know we've got the people to do it. We've got almost 100 people in here and less than half as many likes. So it would be appreciated just to help get the stream out to more people. It's always interesting to get the stream out to more people. Get some new faces in here, new names at least, not new faces necessarily. But and FluxForce says the first 2 new variant cases in Ontario this morning. Good morning, FluxForce. Let's hope those people don't come and then pass it to the United States. I don't know. Have we gotten any cases in the United States? I have not been keeping up with that. And Auto Codes, how do you know Sundial shorts covering? It looks like you are new. We just talked about it, but I will pull it up again. You can see on Ortex. First of all, I'll show you. They're not covering today, but they were covering on Friday, because last we looked on Wednesday before the break, this number, the current short interest, was at 313 million just about, and now it's at 283 million. So about 30 million shorts were covering over Thanksgiving, over the holidays. So maybe they were just trying to sneak out while nobody was noticing. Who knows? But you can even see it on this chart right here, on this yellow line that we've got, that shows the short interest that, it was getting pretty high right after the boom. A lot of shorts came in and started trying to push us down. They succeeded, and now the short interest is falling quite a bit. So shorts did start to escape Sundial stock. So good stuff there. Some shorts are closing their positions, and that could mean that potentially we're nearing the end of Sundial's descent. Hopefully we'll start rising pretty soon. And Antonio de Antoni, hey, what's up? Hope you had a great holiday. I did. I hope you did too. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy belated Thanksgiving. And good morning, Jordan Israel Peterson. Good to see you back in the stream. And Steph by Steph says the virus spread is inevitable, unfortunately, it seems. And Silver says Jack Dorsey stepping down. That's crazy. Are you serious? Jack Dorsey stepping down. Let's see. So, I'm not seeing any new news. I'm not seeing any new news about Jack Dorsey stepping down, but I mean, is it super new news, Silver? I didn't hear about that. But when I search Jack Dorsey stepping down on Google, at least, the most recent article looks like it's from March 5th of 2020, talking about something in Africa, I think it said when I clicked on it. But I'd be curious. I mean, that would be shocking. I know people love Jack Dorsey. Let's see what's going on with Twitter. Twitter up quite a bit, actually. So yeah, Twitter's doing good. Jack Dorsey will step down as Twitter's CEO. Wow. So, wow. So he's expected to step down. This news just came out. Thank you for pointing it out. It looks like it's super new news. Just broke. Yeah, right here. Twitter shares are trading higher following the report that Jack Dorsey will step down. It looks like he was not liked. Wow, that's crazy. I listened to him, actually, just recently. I listened to him on the Joe Rogan Experience. It was one of his older podcasts, right? It was an oldish podcast, months and months old. But I did just recently listen to Jack Dorsey. He sounded like a decent enough guy, but who knows? Looks like, yeah, people are excited that he's stepping down. People are buying up Twitter. Big volume. It looks like this news, yeah, just came out a little bit ago. Wow. Big fight over freedom of speech, yeah. And so Jordan Israel Peterson, oh yeah, the viruses love the news, but the news loves them even more. Remember, they never let a good crisis go to waste, and we're not talking, yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. The news certainly likes to talk about the new strains and all that and hype them up. That's how they do. And Sub-Zero says, I'm defecting from MacCores to come see you, man. I appreciate that. And so let's see. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing says silver. Remove soy, embrace freedom of speech. I like soy sauce actually. I think it's a good one. It's one of my favorites, I would say. Sriracha's good too. And Sundial on the first bar. It looks like we're a little green. Twitter. We will keep Twitter up. And I'll even pull up. I'll put something in the title about. There we go. I'll put something in the title about Jack Dorsey stepping down from Twitter, just in case anyone was interested in it. Well, there we go. There we go. Just in case anyone's interested. Seem blind. Rob likes soy sauce. Unsub lol. Yeah. Reject soy, embrace protein. I certainly like protein too. I like protein. I've got protein powder. It looks like Sundial is off to a good start, up 1.59%. PROG not so much. PROG dipping a little bit. PROG is dipping. And let's see what DWAC is all about. Well, we wanted Twitter too. We'll pull up Twitter right here. We'll pull up. You know what? We'll pull up DWAC right here. And something happened with this. Sundial disappeared on us. All right, there we go. So Sundial, looks like that green bar turned into a red one. And now we'll pull up Twitter. See what's going on with that. So it looks like it's taken a little bit of a dump after the big pump up on the Jack Dorsey stepping down. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, he certainly ran the company fairly well. I mean, he turned Twitter into a pretty big institution. So what's your thesis on ACB, Aurora Cannabis? And Silver says, ACB, I'm still waiting to recover. So, yeah, we'll take a look at ACB. We'll, which to pull it up over. I guess we'll pull it up over DWAC just temporarily. ACB, we'll pull it up in the bottom right. But, yeah, I mean, with ACB, I think it's like all the pot stocks. I think we just got to wait for legalization, and this one will start moving up. I'm not as bullish on it as I am on something like Sundial, because Sundial also has the potential to become kind of a movement GME, AMC-like stock. A lot of people have been calling for that. At least in the past, you can see when Sundial was really pumping up, it was getting a lot of the hype that was associated with GameStop and AMC and Dogecoin and all that. So we'll see if that can happen again. I'm hopeful. I think that if we really get legalization, a lot of people would be looking to pile into these stocks, and that potentially we could get another movement-based pump up, potentially a short squeeze too, right? Obviously, some Sundial shorts are covering, but with ACB, I think we could also see a lot of price appreciation, right? I think that we could if we get legalization, but it's not as sure of a thing, in my opinion, as Sundial. I think Sundial is a pretty good bet to be making. And that's just my opinion, right? That's just what I'm thinking about Sundial. But Aurora is also a decent one, right? I think all the pot stocks are a little oversold right now regarding where they could be after post-legalization. So we'll see what happens with them. But I do like Aurora as well. I just I haven't looked into it as much as Sundial. I don't know what they've got going on, but I do have some Aurora shares. And Seem Blind 2 says COVID equals discounts. Yeah, I think oftentimes, yeah, that's the case. Especially if you guys were paying attention to what happened way back when we first started hearing about the lockdowns and the pandemic and all that. If you look at SPY, if anyone remembers back to these days, some people may not have been in the markets, but this was the dip that we saw due to COVID. So we certainly dipped quite a bit. We were at highs of $336, it looks like, around there on the SPY, and then we dropped quite a bit down to 218. It was about a 33% drop, and scary stuff. A lot of people got very worried, and then we just started this beautiful straight line up almost with very little volatility. It looks like we're experiencing a little bit right now because of the new variant, but can that really hold this wave of green back? It looks like we've just been shooting up in a straight line for about a year and a half now. So we'll see what happens. I mean, maybe we can turn this around. Maybe it starts moving down. We'll see. We are up on the day. We're up 1% on SPY on the day. So we'll see what happens with it. But Tim Boone, what happened to Sundial buyback Friday? Did they? I don't. Someone was saying that. Someone was saying that, but I'm not sure if they ended up doing it. It might have been someone just hyping stuff up, but let's see. Let's see. It looks like they haven't announced anything about it yet, so I don't believe they bought back anything on Friday. But yeah, someone was saying that they bought back on Friday. I forget who it was. Silver, notice how Facebook changed. Dorsey stepping down. I'm thinking they are in trouble with freedom of speech and censorship's lawsuits coming. Maybe they want to get out before, maybe the storm. A lot of people I know are mad about censorship and all that, so they might be trying to get out, at least to the public eye, so much right before it gets bad for them, right? And it looks like Twitter's finding some support at $50. That's good for them. Hopefully, I think I hold some Twitter. Maybe I might hold some Twitter stock in my tech long-term portfolio. I think that they could be a decent one, even though they haven't done great over the past year. In fact, they're almost where they were a year ago. But we'll see what happens with Twitter. Over 2 years, they did okay. I don't know why they haven't risen more. They certainly, I think they just need to figure out how to monetize it a little bit better, right? It's kind of tough when you just have a platform where people type in a couple hundred characters and post. There's only so much advertising you can do there. I heard a while ago that they were working on a new subscription-based model, though. So I'm not sure if that's been implemented. I really haven't kept up with Twitter all that much. And Seem Blind too. Rob holds Twitter stock. Unsub. I know, right? All of these things. I like soy sauce. I hold some Twitter. I might hold Twitter. It's not a guarantee. I might hold some. I just don't remember. I probably threw it in the tech portfolio. And Rocky Mountain Gobblers. I hope you're right, Silver. I hope so. I'd like CGC and ACB to merge. I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be very nice to consolidate some of these companies. Seem Blind. Rob likes his eggs sunny side up. I do, actually. Unsub. Geez, Nobody shares my opinions. That's fine, though. That's fine. But yeah, Twitter, it looks like, is having a nice bounce off of $50, so that's good. And Sundial, though, Sundial started moving down a little bit. We're still up on the day, but it looks like we got a couple red bars that we weren't paying too much attention to. We'll see if we can't come back from this. We're not honestly moving down all that much, right? We're still up 0.29% or 0.9% on the day, depending on how this bar ends. We'll see. And Silver says, if Facebook changes to Meta, lawsuits can sue old Facebook money but not affect their new money coming in under Meta name change, similar to Kanye and Kim money versus his new name change of YE money. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of shadowy stuff and murky stuff in the law, and we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. Maybe people will end up suing Facebook, but I feel like those big tech companies have a lot of sway in the courts too. So who even knows if the lawsuit would have come to anything? But we'll see. I think the name change certainly is making me more bullish on Facebook. I mean, I think that because they're expanding, I never really wanted to invest in Facebook because I don't use Facebook myself. It seems like a kind of a dying platform potentially, at least in the United States. I think fewer people are using it. At least, in the younger generations, granted they still hold Instagram and I think WhatsApp. So, they've still got some growing platforms, but just the name Facebook never really inspired me. So Meta Platforms certainly seems like a better name. I have an Oculus, Facebook's Oculus Quest 2. That's Facebook's VR set. And I could certainly see them becoming a pretty big deal if people, really start taking to that and using it almost like they do phones. The expectation that everybody has a VR headset just because you needed to use a bunch of the apps. And eventually teachers might start saying, all right, do your assignment on your Oculus. And you might have to bring it to school. Who knows? I mean, obviously, you'd want them to get a little bit smaller, a little bit niftier before you actually make that happen. But I'm certainly inspired by Facebook's name change. I'm happy to hear about that. I think I hold Facebook in the tech portfolio too. So we'll see. We'll see how it does. I'm fairly bullish, I'll say, on Facebook now that they're changing the name to Meta and really focusing on the metaverse. I think that could make quite a bit of money. I'm bullish on them financially. We'll see what they do morally with it. I don't know if the metaverse is the best decision for people to be entering and using a lot of the time. I think that could definitely create a disconnect between reality and just make people a little bit less healthy, both mentally and physically. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it, but I'll give it a try. I'll definitely use it. I've got a VR headset, so once they really start getting it going, I mean, I have a couple of games and they are pretty darn cool. They're pretty darn cool. And Zach Taylor says Meta is just another layer of protection from liability. Yeah, I mean, it's another layer, but it's also pretty darn good marketing. I mean, everybody's talking about it now. So we'll see. And Silver says, I can't wait to buy fake sneakers for my fake character in Meta World. Yeah, I mean, that's what people do. I don't like the microtransactions. It could be a really good thing if people, get in there and everything's given to you for free and it becomes a paradise. If you can really plug in, who knows? It could become a good thing potentially, but it really seems like it's going down the route of it's going to be a money grab and probably a bad thing. So we'll see. And Seeing Blind 2, Sundial is looking good for me, not so much for the cannabis, but for the investment into alcohol. If cannabis wanes, alcohol is always selling. Yeah, I agree. Alcana, that was a good acquisition on their part. So when is that going through? Sundial Alcana merge. I think that's happening relatively soon. So let's see when that is. Let's see, when did they say? Expected to close in December 2021. So in about 2 days, so in the next 30 days or so, we could see this closing. I forget the exact date, but that's just what that article is saying right there. Sometime in December. So we'll see. We'll see. In Seeing Blind 2, yeah, I can't wait to steal your fake sneakers off your fake feet in the meta world. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how crime. I mean, you'd think that in the metaverse, crime would be very easy to do. All you need to do is hack into it, and then code away the shoes onto your feet or whatever it is. So it'll be very interesting to see if anyone is safe from crime, even if you have a good security system. So Abstract, what's up, Rob? How was the long weekend? Very relaxing, very good. I wish I had benefited from it and used it a little bit better in terms of yesterday getting to bed a little bit earlier. I ended up, I got plenty of sleep over the weekend, of course. And then last night, I ended up going to bed at 2, so I didn't get all that much sleep, about 5.5 hours of sleep. So that's fine though. That's fine. It was still a very fun weekend. How was yours, Abstract? Hopefully everyone had a good break and didn't pay too much attention to the markets on Friday, because I know they were down a bit, and I glanced at them, but I didn't give them too much mind. I know that some people might have been upset to see it though. And Zach Taylor says, True Social has today and tomorrow to fulfill their promises of launching the beta in November. Yeah. I mean, potentially, that's what a lot of people were betting on yesterday, or on Friday, I should say, when DWAC rose from around 37.17 to 46.70. So maybe some people were betting that either today or tomorrow that beta would launch. But, it's definitely not unheard of for, companies to be late with their projections. So, Tesla does it all the time. Wouldn't surprise me to see the beta come out a little bit later than November. I think especially when companies start out fresh, they are a little bit ambitious with their expectations of what they can do, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with it. It's also a potential strategy, right? If you say it's happening very soon, then people are going to be looking into the stock a lot more. It could just generate a lot more hype around it, and then you get the talking point a couple of times, and people are constantly holding instead of waiting to buy into the stock. It's a potential strategy that companies. I think it would be illegal to give inaccurate guesstimates, to give inaccurate estimates purposefully, but they might, in the back of their minds, be thinking, let me fudge the date a little bit, say it's a little bit sooner than we think, be optimistic about it. They might be guessing that and then just apologize for being wrong later on. We'll see. Companies definitely could do it. I wouldn't put it past companies to do that. So, and Abstract, your weekend was dope. Didn't look at the portfolio at all. Good thing, because it would have been needless worry. Because the SPY is starting to move back up. It looks like we're up about 1% on the day. It looks like we took a little dip at market open, but other than that, we definitely pumped up in after hours. It looks like Friday was a bloodbath, and then we pumped up after hours after a lot of people had sold. So we'll see. We'll see. And Silver says it's a private beta, so I'm not expecting all of us to get in, similar to game company. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it's probably. It's good that it's a private beta. It'll give them the chance to work out the kinks and all that. So, it's not that they're going to get in and start making a bunch of money from it, but it'll just be a nice hype point to mention that they've got the beta. People can start analyzing it, looking at what they're actually doing, how good it is. Look at ways that they could potentially monetize it, start talking about that. So we'll see with the True Social beta what happens with it, but hopefully it'll come out soon. And Abstract says, I don't worry about my investments too much holding long term. I'm with you there. I do my best not to worry about them. Pretty much, I've pretty much beat it. I used to worry about them a bit. Now I don't worry about them very much. But yeah, no, I agree. With the long term, that's the way to go a lot of the time. Just set it and forget it. Put the money in the account, and then don't worry about the fluctuations because they're going to happen every day. That you're invested for the rest of your life, you're going to get fluctuations. So I don't worry too much about the fluctuations in the markets anymore. I've seen, a lot actually. I've seen quite a bit. I've been in the markets for a couple of years now, so I've seen, even the COVID crash was very unique. I think a lot of people hadn't seen something like that before, where we crashed massively and then just completely V back up. It was crazy. So I will say the one thing that I haven't seen, the one thing I haven't been around long enough for, is a real bear market, and I am worried for that. Right? I don't want a massive bear market. I understand that it's a possibility, but I'm talking about the stuff that we saw back in 2008 and 2009. When for years the market was, or it looks like a year about, the market was falling. It looks like we were red in 2007, then 2008 we crashed a ton. 2009 we actually came back a bit. But, I like the trajectory we're on. If we keep moving up, it'll be a good thing for the portfolio. It doesn't make sense necessarily, but it'll be a good thing for the portfolio if we keep moving up like this. I've diversified, so I've got some in these stocks that have just been rising. I've got some in tech and all that. I think tech is probably a good area to be in for the long term. I think tech companies can leverage themselves a little bit better than a lot of other companies. I think that they, just because of the nature of the company, they don't have to do as much physical labor. They can definitely leverage code and all that. So I think tech companies make sense to be in over the long term. So I definitely benefit from that. But I'm also in some gold and silver stocks. Let's see. Looks like gold and silver are down a little bit today. Let's see. Are the physicals actually down? GLD is actually up. Gold is actually up today. SLV. There we go. And silver is down a little bit, but the miner, my favorite miner, Barrick Gold, is down 0.89%. So we'll see. It looks like they just had a dividend come out actually. So nice. I'm gonna grab some money from that dividend. Awesome. But Tyler Mike says Sundial trading 3 cents under book value. The cash on hand alone values them at 66. Thoughts? Yeah, no, I've realized that Sundial is definitely undervalued. I mean, it's really, I think, a lot of manipulation and a lot of shorts in Sundial stock that are just pushing it down. You can see every time. Well, we'll pull up the short interest, but every time that we get a big bump, or even a decent bump, it looks like the short interest increases, and we can see it last time too. We got a big bump in short interest after the rise, and now we got pushed down because of it. Now some shorts are covering, though. We're at 283 million shares. We were at 313 last we checked on Wednesday, so about 30 million shorts covered. That might mark the end of our descent in Sundial. Hopefully it will. It looks like, though, we are down 1.25%. But yeah, I think Sundial, it doesn't make sense that it's trading so low. I mean, it's a great buy. I think it's a great buy. Just on what you said alone, the fact that they've got cash on hand and they're trading under book value. So yeah. Silver says, I'm hoping for a drop in metals in next few weeks. That would honestly, it's an opportunity to buy more. You always got to look at it that way. So, so Silver says, did everyone participate in Black Friday or Cyber Monday, or did you shop earlier in summer around October? I did make some purchases, actually. I made some purchases for the channel, actually. We've got a new mic coming. So right now, let me check and see how this looks. But right now we've got, hopefully this doesn't sound too horrible, we've got this Samsung Q2U, something like that. We've got this mic right here. And, we've got a new mic coming, a nicer mic. Hopefully it will actually sound better. But we'll see with it. We've also got a green screen coming, so the thumbnails should be improving. If not in quality, at least in efficiency. And I should be able to make them a bit faster with the help of that green screen. So, cool stuff we've got coming for the channel. I think that was it for and we've got another ring light, but I already have one. This will just make it a little bit easier to do the thumbnails. But good stuff. Yeah, I did some Black Friday shopping. It was actually on Sunday or Saturday, I think it was. No, it was Sunday. So it wasn't necessarily Black Friday, but it was in between Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Stuff was still cheap. An Abstract bought a new chair for Cyber Monday and a new coffee maker, not too much else. Yeah, I didn't go crazy on it. It's still Cyber Monday, so potentially I'll look for some Christmas gifts. It might not be a bad idea to get some Christmas gifts. So let's see. So Travis Bresso, is the date for Black Rifle going? Is there a date for Black Rifle going public yet? I do not believe. I think, according to this, let's see. So, according to this, the deal which gives Black Rifle Coffee an implied pro forma equity value of $1.9 billion is expected to close in the first quarter of 2022. So there you go. First quarter of 2022 is what we're looking at. I don't believe they've given an exact date. And Rocky Mountain Gobblers did not participate in Black Friday. Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes it doesn't make sense. A lot of the time, I mean, the deals really, I feel like in the past used to be better, and they're good on some stuff, but a lot of the time I feel like they slowly mark up their prices before Black Friday and then give you a huge discount on it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Zach Taylor says PROG exclamation point. It looks like we're getting a bounce off at 330. We'll see what we can do with PROG. We'll see what we can do. And Shadow Girl learned a lot. You have to be quick and patient. Yes, you do. And let's see. All the products on ships that will hit shelves in the new year, do you think companies will drop pricing? Maybe. I think companies might raise pricing. I think that they might be waiting for the new year to raise prices a little bit to really account for the inflation that we've seen. I mean, some companies have raised prices a bit, but I think over the summer we could see some price rising. I'm not too worried about prices dropping. I hope they do. That would be nice. That would be good to see. If prices went down, I'd be happy with that. I'd rather everything be super cheap and affordable than stuff get more expensive, but I fear that prices will be going up. So we'll see. That's just what I think. I mean, maybe there's a temporary drop if there are a bunch of products that get there all at once, but I don't think that we'll see too much of a price decrease. Let's see. So what did I have to? What was I looking at? I was looking at something, and I forget exactly what. There was a comment that I wanted to get to. Maybe it was Nicholas Morello. I was in PTPI at $2. Sometimes it pays to bag hold. Lol. JK, I knew from financials they'll be profitable soon. PTPI. Is that one doing excellently? Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, geez. Up 89%. Almost 90%. There we go. We just hit 90% up on the day on PTPI. Nice. Nice job, Nicholas. That is incredible. Yeah, with these long-term ones, every now and then you make a bunch of money if you're just holding. If you have a strong conviction at play, you see sometimes massive gains on those, and you got to decide. I mean, potentially, if you're holding PTPI, it has risen at quite a bit. I don't know how much you're holding. What is it? PTPI? Oh, it looks like it doesn't have options. Too bad. Too bad. Because when something rises 90% in a day, sometimes it's nice to sell some options for another far out of the money strike price, collect some premium. Sometimes it's nice to do that, but it doesn't have options available for it. That's too bad. That's oh well, not holding much. Gotcha. To do options, you only need 100 shares, but yeah, maybe, yeah. Oh well, too bad there are no options available on it. That would be interesting because the options always get hugely inflated when something rises this much because they don't know if it's going to continue rising a ton, and they need to price the options pretty high to account for the potential volatility it could have. But yeah, no options on PTPI. That's unfortunate. And Silver says, right now pricing in grocery stores are 3 to 4x from last year. I mean, I know the groceries have gotten expensive. It certainly has. Maybe groceries could move down a little bit. We'll see. But Abstract is asking, how's crypto looking today? And that I actually remember is what I wanted to look at. So thank you, Abstract. Yeah, that is what I wanted to look at. So crypto is actually having a very green day. Bitcoin up 5%, Ethereum up 6.4%, Binance Coin up 4.5%, Dogecoin up 11%. Even Shiba Inu, despite the fact that it's been falling lately, is up 3.3%. So not bad stuff for Shiba Inu, although it's not the biggest gain. They're still on this kind of pretty significant downtrend, more than 50% off the highs of what they were able to reach in the past. So Shiba Inu, it looks like its days may be numbered. We'll see. It looks like it has actually consolidated a bit over the past couple of days. Over break, people weren't selling Shiba Inu. So we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, Shiba Inu down a little bit. We'll see. We'll see what happens with it, though. But yeah, the cryptos the cryptos are doing pretty good. Even Crypto.com coin, which did take a bit of a tumble over Thanksgiving. It looks like on the 24th, they were trading around 96 cents at their peaks. Now they're at 75 cents, and they hit lows of 65 cents. So, that's all over the past 7 days. We'll see. We'll see what we can get out of Crypto.com coin, but they are certainly running a lot of advertisements. And that kind of makes it look like they might be reaching a peak. They might be trying to swap out. They're putting out advertisements, trying to get a whole bunch of new buyers, and then potentially the insiders are going to be selling their coins. Maybe that's what a bit of this dip was. This may have been some insiders selling their coins as they're on a huge marketing campaign trying to get buyers for those coins. Who knows, though? Who knows what's going on with Crypto.com coin? All I know is that they certainly advertise themselves a lot, and I don't know why they're rising, right? Other than the fact that people are buying them because of the ads. So we'll see. That's what's going on with crypto, though. Crypto's looking pretty good. Pretty much every crypto is green. Pretty much every crypto is green, except it looks like for the dollar coins, right? The ones that are tied to a dollar, or at least pretty darn close to it. It looks like those are down 0.05% or 0.1%, but hardly anything. So the cryptos are doing good. Sundial just had a nice little green bar right there. A nice medium-sized green bar. Largest bar of the day, actually. Red or green, it's the largest bar of the day. It's a bounce off of 64.39, 64.44, somewhere around there. Looks like PROG and Sundial are starting to turn around, as is Aurora. Aurora is starting to move up. So the cannabis stocks in general are starting to move up. And Florida lawmaker files bill to decriminalize all currently illicit drugs. Very cool stuff. It looks like Florida is following in, I think it's Oregon's footsteps. And that is really cool. So let's pull up the article on that one and see what we've got, because that is really, really cool stuff. Right here, Florida lawmaker files bill to decriminalize all currently illicit drugs. A Florida lawmaker introduced a bill last week to decriminalize all currently illicit drugs, provide revenues for relief for those with existing drug-related convictions, and promote harm reduction services. So, this is a Democrat filing the bill. Dottie Joseph filed legislation titled The Collateral Consequences of Convictions and Decriminalization of All Cannabis and All Drugs Act on Tuesday. For marijuana specifically, it would make possession of up to 1 ounce a non-criminal violation punishable by a $50 fine rather than a misdemeanor offense. It would apply the same non-criminal penalty to deliver up to 1 ounce of marijuana. Okay. People with past convictions for those cannabis-related offenses would be eligible for automatic expungements if more than a year has elapsed since the date of the arrest. And the bill goes on to say that legislature intends the prioritization of rehabilitative health intervention in lieu of criminalization for personal usage of controlled substances. So, cool stuff. And not just cannabis, but all currently illicit drugs could be decriminalized in Florida. So that's very interesting. We'll see. We'll see what they do if they follow in Oregon's footsteps. And Seamblind says that ain't passing. Zach Taylor says that's just stupid. I don't think it passes in Florida, says Silver. Yeah, I don't think that will pass. It looks like a Democrat proposed it, and Florida, I believe, right now is a red state. So I don't think that that'll pass. But Abstract says there's no reason for people to get locked up for nonviolent drug offenses. I agree with that. I think that's the case. If something's nonviolent and someone's doing something in their house, I don't see a problem with it. So. Obviously, if someone does something while they're on a drug and they're violent, then you should probably do something about it. But if they're just minding their own business, I see no problem and no reason to limit the freedom that they've got. That's how I view it, at least. Obviously, some people view it differently. They might have their own reasons for not liking certain substances or whatnot. But I tend to take a pretty libertarian view on most things. I say the less government and the less laws, the better. That's my typical view. So that kind of aligns with the decriminalization of everything. I'd rather people pay a fine for it than go to jail. At least what this law is proposing. So Seam Blind, I long to live in Florida. I'm in the U.S. territory of New York City. Woo! So yeah, New York. I've got a friend in New York. He says he's not loving it there. It's a fun area, though. I've been through New York. I've never actually stayed in Newark. I have stopped through, stopped by while traveling through it, gotten some food there. And no, NYC is not America. This is Seem Blind too. New York City's not America. What? Maybe there's another territory. I mean, the U.S. territory of NYC. Let's see. Territory. No, I'm not finding anything on Google. Not sure what you're talking about. Not sure. So never stay in NYC, Rob. Never. Don't do it. Yeah, I've not stayed in New York City. Yeah. But let's see. Twitter halted, says Zach. So it looks like as of 9. Yeah, it looks like 9:51. 9:52. They got halted. Interesting. So they've been halted for news pending. Interesting. And as of 9:52, Jack Dorsey, Twitter's board, have settled on his successor. Wow, that happened fast. I mean, this news. This is crazy. And Seem Blind 2 says he's being hyperbolic. Gotcha. NYC is a communist country in its own right, not America. Yeah, it certainly has gotten pretty bad over the past couple of, long time. It's been getting pretty bad in New York. But more recently, it's been somewhat horrific. I've heard, at least from my friend who lives there, he doesn't like it very much. So, yeah, Twitter, really cool stuff. We'll definitely be keeping up with this. But, yeah, Twitter halted. Yeah, well, that's crazy stuff. So it looks like, the SEC halted them. They don't want anything crazy happening while they're releasing this news. But cool stuff. Successor is Donald Trump, says Zach Taylor. No, that would be really hilarious. That would be if anyone follows the Babylon Bee, that would be a hilarious article for them to post. But Babylon Bee, for those of you who don't know, it's an Instagram page. It's basically, if anyone followed The Onion in the past, it basically picked up where The Onion left off. It just makes very memey, hyperbolic, as Seem Blind said, kind of, fake, satirical news articles. So really funny stuff. And Zach, yep, vacuum filler coming. Yeah, I know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Twitter after the halt ends. We'll see what happens with it. It'll be interesting. Babylon Bee is great, says JB123. Babylon Bee, I agree. I like Babylon Bee. Very funny stuff that they post. Yeah, New York City would not be a fan of what Zach Taylor said. That's for sure. All right. Well, we'll see what happens with Twitter after the halt. Who knows how long it will be halted for? I mean, so it looks like they've settled on the successor, but we're still waiting. The news pending. So we'll see how long this halt lasts for. This could last for a bit. It could last for a little bit, but PROG is starting to move up again. It looks like we did get that nice bounce off at 330. Sundial is consolidating. We'll see. We'll see if we can't start moving up with Sundial. I mean, some of the shorts at the very least have had the opportunity to get out of Sundial, so potentially, and I just realized the face cam is off, but potentially we'll be getting back. Sorry about that, guys. I forgot the face cam, man. Oh, well. But NRXP, that's the one we were talking about earlier, up 36% today. NRXP, we'll see what happens with Twitter when it gets unhalted. But yeah, NRXP up quite a bit. Number 1 trending on stock twits. So number 1 trending, and then Doge is number 2. It looks like people were excited about Doge pumping up about 10% on the day. So we'll see. AMC and SPY and Bitcoin and Doge and Shiba Inu are the top trenders, or the top most active on stock twits, I should say. So nothing crazy going on, except I will say Alibaba has gotten a lot of mentions on Reddit lately. Let's see what Alibaba did. So Alibaba, nothing crazy happened with them. It looks like, I mean, they gapped down a little bit. Let's see. Let's see what happened on the 26th. So, okay, they have an application to set up a credit scoring company. Okay, all right. So their affiliate Ant Group's application. All right, okay. So they're processing that with China. We'll see. I know that could potentially be a very profitable business in China, but we'll see what happens with them. All right. So Baba, yeah. Looks like they didn't actually like that news. They moved down, and they're moving down today as well, down 0.88%. And pretty big move down the first couple of bars in the morning. So people were probably not hoping for that. I'm glad that I've gotten out. I'm glad that I've gotten out of Baba a while ago. I got out of Baba, but geez, I really did I ever buy at the peak on that one? I was hearing all this hype, next Amazon of China, and they'd been doing well for years, of course. And I buy right before China, sequesters or whatever, just takes away Jack Ma, the CEO, and scares everybody. So whatever. But also, just updated my phone to Android 12. So crazy stuff. Very different. Very different stuff on this phone. It looks like, but cool. So the UI is completely changed. I don't know. It's decent. It's a decent UI. We'll see. We'll see if I like it. Haven't used it. I just literally, while we were streaming, I told the phone, I just clicked the restart button on it after downloading the update. And Jack Ma is totally alive, winky face, says Seem Blind. Yeah, is he still gone? I think they found him. I think they found Jack Ma. But I think he just showed up playing golf one day. And he's probably around somewhere. But they certainly taught him his lesson. At least it seems. And Vivi Ruddick says, Rob Macy, I don't invest in China stocks. I can see that from the moral standpoint. Potentially, it could be good to diversify. You never know what's going to happen if China ends up winning this whole thing. We'll see. Maybe China will come out on top. Well, hopefully not. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But we've got some comments flying in. So OXUS investing all. Kitchener Leslie asks OXUS. I am not investing in OXUS. It looks like they've been doing decently though. So what is this? Is this a SPAC? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So new SPAC, and we'll see. I mean, it's below $10, so it's not bad. But no, is there any news that came out with OXUS? Is it just a SPAC that have they announced what they're acquiring yet? I don't think they've announced it, and at least not that I'm seeing in the first couple of links when I look them up. Yeah, looks like they're just a SPAC right now, but if you know something I don't, let me know, Kitchener. And Twitter Jack is hiding where there's no extradition treaty. Oh, that could be. It could be. He's hiding out. And Silver, I'm holding off on updates on phones. Terms and conditions can allow them to censor users, especially users who drop truth to power bombs. Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. But, the phone kept bugging me to update it. And I figured eventually some of the apps would stop working if I didn't. So yeah, I just go with the updates. That's the cost of using Android. You must and any phone provider really they kind of require those updates. So DWAC it looks like is taking a little tumble today. All right. We'll see what happens. Oxys is hydrogen fuel, I think. Okay. That's cool. Hydrogen fuel. That definitely sounds promising. Zach Taylor started a private invite-only social media site over the weekend for deplorables. Interesting. Deplorablesocial.com. Very cool. And Silver said, I had 5 update requests in the past month. Yeah, I have 2. I think it's this most recent update. They keep trying to push it on me. And eventually it worked. Eventually I just decided I'll go along with it. It looks like the UI is a little bit cleaner. Looks a little bit more circular and friendly, but who knows? I think that the UI changes. They just go back and forth, and they just keep people using something new. So I don't think it's a huge deal, but it's interesting to see. All right, and I will be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Quick refilling of the water must occur. So hold on. Sit tight. I'll be right back. Okay, I have returned. There we go. Let's get that cam back on. All right, nice. Let's see, what has been going on in the comments since I left. So, abstract, iPhones don't require you to update to iOS 15. They keep updating iOS 14. Interesting. Yeah, I know. I've heard iPhones. I mean, people certainly like them a lot. I've never had one myself, though. So, seem blind. Quick, let's make fun of him. I'm not sure you're talking. Maybe Jack Mom. But Tyler Mike, Sundial trading below where it was trading before its best earnings ever. Yeah, no kidding, Tyler Mike. Definitely reeks of manipulation to me. I think it's been getting pushed down artificially, probably, most likely. We definitely saw short interest increase right after the bump. So a lot of shorts came in, and it looks like some of them have made their profit and gotten out at this point. Some of them, not all the shorts are out there. There's still quite a few shorts in Sundial stock, but we'll see what we can get. I mean, it does not make sense to be trading below 70 cents, in my opinion, on Sundial. I think at the very least we should be at 70 cents, but we'll see. And Silver says, market's dropping from big green jump from pre-market. If it doesn't hold until 11 or noon, I can see it going red by close. Yeah, that could be the case. SPY, let's see what SPY is doing. SPY, it looks like we're still up 1% on SPY. So we dropped a little bit, but we have been stagnating here. So we're consolidating around 463. Let's see, IWM. What's IWM doing? So yeah, the small caps are moving down. The Russells is moving down. Yeah, we could turn red today. It wouldn't be out of the question. Hopefully that doesn't happen, right? I mean, granted, if you look at the long term on this bottom left chart, it looks like we have started a bit of a downtrend on the Russells. So we'll see. What we don't want is a big falling of these small cap stocks, because we have seen a stagnation of them. It's just been the big companies. You can see, I'll pull up SPY in the top left and the Russells in the bottom left. And the Russells, the bottom left, is just smaller cap stocks. These are both ETFs that track a bunch of companies. The SPY tracks larger companies typically, and the Russells is small cap. So you can see we had a great run leading into about February, where we've just stagnated from. Recently, we got a little bump up, right? Around early November, we got a bump up, and then early November, we capped out, we topped out, and have been moving down since. The SPY, on the other hand, it's just been like a straight line. Every now and then we have a little jig and a jag, but for the most part, we've been moving up with SPYs, so doing much better gain-wise over the past year than we have been with the Russells. But it's understandable, right? These big stocks are viewed as safer. People are more interested in them. At least the big institutions are. There's more liquidity in there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with these. But okay, and Christopher Frank, don't know if you covered it, but if not, can you look at NRXP and the Ortex? Thank you. We have talked about NRXP. It's the currently, and we will look at it some more though. But currently, let me pull this up. It is the #1 trending on stock twits right here. So a lot of people talking about this one. A lot of people coming in to talk about this one at least. And we'll pull up NRXT right here. But I think this is the pharmaceutical one. NRXP, that's what it is. There we go, NRXP. So, yeah, this one up 34%, and I forget exactly what it was. It was, okay, they completed their Xysami analysis. This is the COVID drug company, right? I think they have some treatment that they can use on COVID. And with the new variant, a lot of people are thinking that this could be a good play, and that's why they've been spiking over the past couple of days since Friday, when we really heard about this new variant news. We started spiking up. So it could be doing pretty good looking into the future. At least the short term, I would worry a little bit about it, but we will take a peek at the Ortex. I would worry a little bit about it though over the long term. Just because I don't know how much longevity a lot of those COVID companies are going to have, but we'll see. They might be getting hyped up a little bit right now, and it looks like not very shorted, right? Not too shorted. Current short interest 3.93%, less than 1 million shares short, and not a large increase today as well. So not too much short interest-wise to look at with NRXP. But it is notably up 33% on the day, so it could be a decent trade. Could be. And Zach Taylor says, Dow 30K by Friday. And Abstract asks if I'm on Windows 11. I don't think so. I don't think I've updated to Windows 11. When I bought this computer, I think it was a Windows 10, so we'll see. We'll see. And Tyler Mike, I like to see Sundial go lower, even though I have major holdings. I think it's funny. I like to see how crooked things are. Yeah, things certainly are crooked, regarding Sundial at least. Definitely, yeah. And let's see, what was that? There was another comment that Abstract said, yeah, one of these days we'll look back to 2021 and laugh at how low Sundial was. I think, that's the case a lot of the times. I fear that I'll wish I bought more Sundial. I think this one really could blow up. And when you're looking at it, if it 2 or 3 or 5x's, then you're going to look back at it as, ooh, I could have gotten Sundial below $1. That's going to look like a really great buy, I think. We're in the infancy of Sundial. I think over the next couple of years, it could be doing very well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. You don't like to. I already have a fairly large Sundial holding. I don't like to put too much into one company at a time. I like to stay relatively diversified. So I'm getting close to being maxed out on what I want to put into a single stock. So might have to buy a little bit more though. We'll see. And Seen Blind, how dare you, Rob? These pharma companies aren't interested in the money. Oh yeah. Obviously being sarcastic. Yeah, I mean the pharma companies, they've done very well. Talk about Moderna. Let's take a peek at that. Over the past 2 years, they have just been pumping up huge. I mean, at the beginning of 2020, they were trading at $17.68. Now they're at $355. I mean, talk about benefit. They have certainly done incredibly well. I think Pfizer's a little different, but PFE, that's what it is. PFE. Yeah, they've not done as well as Moderna, but geez, Moderna really came out of nowhere and just took over. Over the past 2 years, Pfizer was at lows of $26. Now they're at $55. They've done decently, but Moderna, I mean, talk about gains, right? From $17.68 to $368. Not even at the highs. They were almost at $500 at one point. So from where they started to here, let's draw this line out. So from $17, we've got to extend the line, but they're up 2,000%, and at their peaks, they were up about 2,700%. So massive gains on Moderna. Congratulations to anyone holding Moderna stock. I mean, what I would have done had I known back then how much this was going to rise, I would have put all my money in Moderna and retired. So, geez. Yeah, Moderna has been very good to investors, but Sundial is my only stock, says Abstract. The rest is in crypto, I believe. Yep. That's a way to go. I mean, you could certainly make quite a bit with crypto. It's been doing very well, and today is a good day for crypto. Today's a very good day, so that is good stuff. I'm too scared to put all my money in crypto. Although it seems to rise quite a bit. You never know. I don't know if we're going to hit a peak in it and go into a bear market like we did back in 2017 for a year or two. I'd prefer not. I prefer to have a little bit of diversity in my portfolio. So I don't want to have too much in crypto. I've got a little bit, but it's not a crazy amount. It's not too crazy. I mean, if we had options that we could sell in crypto, oh boy, I'd be all in on that. I would love that. I'd love selling options on crypto. And with the crypto holdings I've got, let's hope they add options for crypto. I think there are. I'm pretty sure there are some sites that you can go to and trade options on crypto. But they're kind of low-key, almost sketchy websites. At least last I checked, it was months ago. I wouldn't want to get involved with them myself, so. And Nicholas Morello, there will always be another 10x play. We just got to find him. I agree. I think right now Sundial could be one, especially at these prices. At 637, we could certainly be looking at a big move up in Sundial, especially, given that same time frame over the next 2 years. I think Sundial could go up quite a bit. It could go up quite a bit. So Abstract says, every stock I've bought has dropped dramatically, and I've earned most of my losses back in crypto. Nice. Glad to hear. Yeah, I mean, it's good to see crypto is going up and making, people who get in on these smaller coins early on can make quite a bit of money. So that is good to see that people are able to be profitable with. That's definitely good. I have to admit, I've made money on crypto, right? I've rarely lost money. I lost money back in 2017, but only a couple $100, and I've made quite a bit on crypto over the past year or so that I've actually been in on it. So we'll see. We'll see where crypto goes. Tyler Mike, what are your thoughts on Zach, CEO of Sundial, doing illegal activities to get Sundial low share price? All he has to do is hold back on share repurchase, stock goes down. I don't know if it's illegal what he's doing. Certainly Sundial wants to buy back the shares when they're cheaper, so we'll see. We'll see when Sundial does their share repurchase, but maybe they'll do it around these lower prices. Maybe they'll do it to help boost us through $1. Maybe they want to see us get on an uptrend first. Who's to say? And Nicholas Morello, what's the next crypto play, Robin? How can I buy crypto in Nevada? Is crypto? Let's see what the deal with Nevada is. Okay, apparently Nevada is a crypto, but so Nevada blockchain legislation status. Nevada became the first state to ban local governments from taxing blockchain. Use it when okay, all right, but let me look up, is crypto legal in Nevada? Okay, cryptocurrency operators must obtain a money transmitter license and surety bond to conduct business in the state. All right, so that might explain. Okay, so hold on. So 9 exchanges. So it looks like Coinbase allows you to buy and sell in Nevada, I think. So here we go. Buy Bitcoin. So buy crypto and Bitcoin in Nevada. So these places: Coinbase, Coinbase Pro, Gemini, Bitcoin IRA, Coin Mama, Swan Coin, Bitcoin ATMs. Interesting. So it looks like Coinbase could be your place if you're looking to buy crypto in Nevada. That's certainly one of the bigger brokerages. And what's the next crypto? What's the next crypto play? It's tough to say. I mean, I honestly don't follow cryptos as much as I do stocks, but it's tough to say. I do want to get more into them, but typically when you're looking for a crypto play, you're just looking for whichever one is rising the most at the time, and unless you're picking it at the exact top, it's going to go a little bit higher. I really haven't gotten too much into crypto trading, though. It's tough to say. I mean, it looks like Crypto.com coin might be done. Shiba Inu, unfortunately, looks like it's faltering. It's up 3% on the day, but it is on a fairly solid downtrend. We'll see what the next crypto play is. I mean, if I knew what the next crypto play was, I'd be in it. I'd be screaming it from the rooftops. But we'll see. I'll look into some more cryptos. I've been thinking about looking into those a bit more. I don't think too many people on the channel are interested in them. Some people might be. An abstract says the next crypto is Doge on Mars. Yeah, it could be. It could be that or Floki. Let's see how Floki Inu is doing. Floki Inu coin. I'll pull this up. Here we go. So looks like they're up about 21% on the day. So Floki Inu coming back. They're trading still at a fraction of a cent, but not too far off from their all-time highs. It looks like they're down about 50% from their all-time highs. So not bad. Hold on, let me cough real quick. Okay, there we go. That was good. This coffee, the instant coffee is a little acidic on my throat. It almost dries my throat out. But Vivi Reddick asks if I could look at LGVN. We will definitely take a peek at LGVN. So it's up 6% on the day, Longeveron. And I know this is a popular one. It was up at 45 in the past. People are wondering if it can get up to 45 again. It looks like they had a double top there. If you look at the past 10 days, you can see it hit 45 twice here and here. So we'll see if we can break past 45, then we could definitely be on the road to much higher highs. But the past year, it looks like they haven't done too much, right? They've been downtrending most of the year, it looks like. And or relatively stagnant, but they have been moving down. But, now they're up from 284. I'm not sure what the catalyst on this one was. They have a high short interest, I know. They definitely have a high short interest. So let's see. Yeah, so 86% of the free float is short on Longeveron. So they could be doing very well in the future, if they go up enough in price. But to be fair, a lot of those shorts got in at the higher prices, so they'd need to move quite a bit to really pump up. But let's see what LGVN's market cap is. That could give us some insights. So their market cap is 600 million. So this one should be relatively easy to move up in price, if some big players come into it. But let me see what the actual catalyst was when they started pumping initially. That was the 18th. So FDA news, it looks like, okay, the pediatric disease designation. All right, yep, that's the one. So, yeah, they've been doing good. We'll see what happens with them. We'll see what happens with them, but hopefully they'll do well. And silver, do you think the market has more tailwinds or headwinds coming? Tough to say, but, looking at SPY, every time we've thought the market was going to drop over the past 2 years, granted, it dropped during COVID, but every time we thought it was going to drop big, we saw it drop a little bit, and then we came back. This drop is a little bit smaller than most, and we'll see if we can't get a little bit lower. Potentially we could. I could see us dropping a little bit more. But over the next months, I don't know. Maybe the market will start crashing all of a sudden, but it certainly seems like we've been on this steady uptrend pattern for a long time. Granted, the Fed started reducing their buyback of bonds, so we'll see what happens with that. Maybe if they keep reducing it, the market won't like that. The market will react poorly, and we actually will start dropping until the Fed says we'll buy it more. That could be, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I think that we're likely to continue this pattern until we don't, right? It's very tough to pick the exact top. And if I knew where the exact top would be, I'd put in a massive short position on it. But who's to say? It's tough. The market is definitely being propped up by a lot of cash at the moment. I don't think people have run out of cash, so I don't see why the market would move down all of a sudden. I think that there are a lot of people with a lot of money on the sidelines even now. I think a lot of people are waiting for the crash. So Nicholas Morello says, IDK, how it ever crashes, the Fed will just pump more into the markets and no country can stop us. Yeah, they can't stop us from printing more money and throwing it into the markets. They can't stop us from doing that. But what they can do is they can stop accepting our money for the same rate that they've been accepting in the past, right? They could look at it like, if we're just going to print money, then what's it worth to them if we're just going to print money whenever the fancy suits us. So they might start sending much fewer goods. We could see massive inflation. It could be bad if we keep printing money like this. That's the downside that the Fed doesn't seem to really care about or realize. We really could see a somewhat catastrophic situation, other than the markets going down. I know that hurts the wealthier individuals, but we could really see devastation for the middle class if, savings just evaporate. If what people have saved up in cash just disappears, the stuff they thought was safe, if the money really starts becoming worth very little, that could be really bad for a lot of people. Granted, we don't have very high savings rates. They are higher than they have been statistically in the past, but still, it seems like a fairly small amount when you look at the actual numbers. Let's take a peek at the numbers. So, look at St. Louis Fed, and here we go. So, going all the way back to, we'll pull this up. Going back to 1959, you can see we had a savings rate of about 10%, 11%, 12%, 13%, all the way through the 80s. Then in the around in the 80s, we started dropping to around 8%. In the 90s, we dropped to around 5 or 6%. In the early 2000s, we stayed around 5 or 6. We dropped around the recession. Right before the recession, it looks like in 2005 we dropped to around 2 or 3%, and we slowly rose through the 2010s back to around 7%. And then during COVID, when COVID hit and we had those stimulus packages coming out, we shot up massively to a 33% savings rate. Then we dropped to 14%. You can see every little stimulus check that came out bumped up the savings rate quite a bit, but we have now returned to around 7.3% as of October of 2021. So it really did not take long for us to get back to where we were historically, at least in the 2010s. So, you know, that just shows you give people some money and they'll spend it. People do not have that much money saved up. And, you know, maybe that was due to harsh economic circumstances and they needed the money. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I think that, you know, we'll see. If the money starts to move down in value, that would be very bad. But I'm reading some comments here. And Rico Aguilar just bought some more Sundial. Nice. And Abstract says, smash that like button. That would be appreciated, guys, actually. We have 108 viewers on the stream and 87 likes. So really, it would only take about 13 additional likes on the stream to get us to 100 likes, which we could potentially do. That would be appreciated. We're at 88 likes right now. So we'll see 12 more likes. If you want to be one of the 12 to like the stream, push us up to 100. That would be much appreciated. Thank you for pointing that out, Abstract. I wasn't even looking, but we only need 9 more. So if you want to be one of the 9, the Nazgul, I was just watching that movie last night, then you've got the chance to do it. Anyways, Jordan Peterson says, you mean Janet's printer doesn't print unlimitedly, Rob? I mean, it certainly seems like it does. It certainly seems like it does, and I may have just pressed something. Nope, okay. Yeah, it certainly seems like it does, but you never know. You never know. The printer could, it could slow. And Kitchener Leslie, Rob, I forgot to hit the like button coming at you now. I appreciate it. We're only 5 likes away from 100. You know, 5 doesn't have anything to do with Lord of the Rings. There was no no 5 rings were given to anyone, but we'll see what we can get. So Joseph Agnello says, Twitter's still halt. Unbelievable BS. What a mess. Are you serious? So yeah, Twitter still halted, it looks like, from the sound of it. Yeah, hasn't traded since 9:52. Yeah, really strange. I mean, I expected this could be a slightly longer halt. I expected it could be, since it was just halt on pending news. I could have seen that, you know, taking a bit. It could take a bit to unhalt. We'll see. And Buddy B, I watch you on TV, so I can't like it. I came on YouTube on my phone just to like this feed. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate that, Buddy B. Interesting. Watch it on TV. It must be like the YouTube Roku app. Nice. I was unaware that they didn't have a like feature on that. And Kitchen Leslie says, is Dorsey on the Epstein flight logs? Might be. Who knows? This seems so abrupt, and I'm surprised to see that Twitter's moving up in price. On the news. I would have thought that would have added some uncertainty to Twitter. Maybe that's why they got halted. As people saw that it was falling, there might have been an artificial boost up in price. Some institutions who have big stakes in Twitter might not have wanted the news to seem bad. It looks like they did initially fall down to 45, and then some big buying pressure came in, but that was being taken away. Some other players, some whales in Twitter might have decided this was bad news and been selling. So maybe Twitter will be falling after this unhalt. Who knows? Who knows what Twitter will do? It's tough to say. And FlexForce, you are a hard man to find on Facebook. And Kitchen Lucy says, should you be looking for hard man on Facebook? Yeah. Do I even have a Facebook? I don't know. Who disliked? We will find you in short, you lol, says Seem Blind 2. I could have sworn, actually, that that YouTube stopped showing how many dislikes videos got. I can't actually see it on my end. I can't see any dislikes on my end. Not that it shows. It only shows the likes. It doesn't show the dislikes. I think they don't want to dishearten people doing live streams by showing them dislikes. Letting people know that they said something that wasn't liked. But Roku issues lately with the tube. I'd short Twitter and Facebook. Pride cometh before the fall. And it's not for no reason, Ambition says. He knows something. You don't just step down overnight. Lawsuits, insider trading, conflict of interest, something. Yeah, I believe it. It seems very suspicious that he just all of a sudden announced him stepping down. And he's not an old guy either. I mean, he's not an old guy who needs to step down because of his age, because he's not doing well. He's 30-something years old, I believe. Who knows if he's going to be stepping down, getting out of, I think he runs Square as well. Is he also stepping down from Square? So, Let's see. Let's see what CNBC says about Jack Dorsey, if he's going to be stepping down from a... So, let's see, right here. Here's the article on Jack Dorsey. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey is expected to step down, sources say, so he currently serves as the CEO of both Twitter and Square, his digital payments company. It's unclear who is set to succeed him. And he's 45, and people don't know why he's taking the step back. But if he steps down, the next CEO will have to meet Twitter's aggressive internal goals. And doesn't mention anything about Square. So I guess he's not stepping down from Square. It looks like it's just Twitter that he's stepping down from. At least that's all that's been announced. But yeah, Twitter has been on a very long halt. Very long halt. So, buddy, let's not forget in 2019 or so, they all did. Jeff Bezos and quite a few others. I found it very strange. Yeah. You know, a lot of them, I remember when Jeff Bezos stepped down. Potentially he did it because he might want to focus more on fun projects like Blue Origin and just go to space. It might not be responsible for him to be the CEO of Amazon and going to space. But, you know, who knows? You know, at that point, he's so rich, he can step down if he wants. He doesn't want to work his whole life. I'm sure he wants to do some kind of work, but he doesn't want to be super high profile CEO working 24/7 around the clock. He's starting to get old. He wants some time to relax. He's going to choose someone who can run the company and put a little bit more effort into it, I'm sure. But yeah, Jack is only 45. I think he got a couple. He has many years left in him, I think, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hunter Dorsey says, Kitchener Leslie, only some will understand what he's talking about. And wait, Jack Dorsey isn't 60, says Abstract? Yeah, I know. He certainly seems pretty old, but he's only 45, so nowhere near 60. He's got another 15 years, more than a decade to go. And Rocky Mountain Gobblers hopes Dorsey gets his pantsuit off. And same, I've been looking still for Quentin White. Maybe stocks will run to distract from that. Yeah, I'm sure it will pop, he says. All right. And, you know, typically we put in a little poll around this time. I'm just curious what you guys are thinking. Will Twitter rise or fall on the Jack Dorsey news? And we'll add in rise or fall. So there we go. So this is just, you know, we're just talking over the next couple of we're just asking over the next couple of weeks, months, maybe. We'll see what Twitter ends up doing after the halt. So that could indicate where it's going over the long term. That could be, you know, after they get the news of who the successor will be for Jack Dorsey. It looks like in the markets, though, BBIG is down a bit, down to around $3. And TLRY down 4.5%. Not too happy about that, though. Sundial is down 2.7%. It looks like cannabis has been getting hit hard. Aurora down 4.5% as well. So Sundial is actually down the least of them. So we'll see. And we've got a couple votes going into the poll about will Twitter rise or fall on the Jack Dorsey news. 8 votes so far. 25% say rise. 75% say fall. If you guys want to vote in the poll, feel free. I'm always interested to hear what you guys think. So yeah, a lot of you guys think that it's going to fall, but some, you know, 3 of the 10 think it will rise. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to look at for sure. And you know, very interesting actually. I'll pull up this S&P map right here. You can see that the tech companies are doing very well. Tesla up 4.5%, Amazon up 2%, Google up 2.2%. Microsoft up 2.63%, Apple up 1.89%, Facebook up 1.34%, NVIDIA up, Salesforce is up, Cisco's up. A lot of these tech companies are up. A lot of companies across the whole market are up actually, but financials aren't doing well. Banks and financial credit services aren't doing well, and telecom services, entertainment not doing great. Disney's down, Netflix is down, but overall, it looks like it's a fairly green day in the market, mostly brought on by these tech companies rising. So, you know, I think that institutions realize just how influential and powerful these tech companies could get over the next couple of years. You know, how much leverage they have. I think that the tech companies could certainly be doing very well. I think that institutions love those tech companies. I mean, look at QQQ, up 1.17% over the past year. It's just been skyrocketing. And And never mind over the past 2 years, it's been massive gains. So good stuff for QQQ. They've certainly been doing very well for themselves. There we go. 2 years, 1 day. That's the one. So from 200 to 400, that's where we've gone with QQQ. We've doubled over the past 2 years, just about, and we're up 1.18% today. All right. And Zach Taylor says you should add Crash as a choice. Yeah, it should have been. We'll bunch it in under fall. It looks like of the 20 votes, 70%. So what is that? Says 14 people, I think that this thing is, 14 people think that it's going to fall. Of the 20 people who voted in this, 30% or 6 people think it's going to rise. Hexo's going to join Sundial and Pennyland, says Tyler Mike. Hopefully not. Hopefully that's not what it's going to do, but it's certainly looking that way. It's down 8% on the day. It's just been crashing over it really crashed over the past year. It wasn't doing all that bad a couple of months ago, but man, Hexo has been falling, and I own some Hexo too. It's tough to say which one is really going to be the one that takes over everything. You never know for sure. There could be acquisitions or some kind of situation that boosts one up over the other, but you never know which one is going to be the one that's doing really good. It's looking like it's not Hexo at the moment. At least people aren't betting on that. Hexo has dropped quite a bit, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with Hexo stock. Gates is going to GITMO. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good. And Quentin White finds it very funny. It says facts. I hope someone live tweets the trial or something. I don't know. Is Bill Gates, is he going to a trial or to jail? Who knows? Take a look at RMO. Just hit all-time low after huge pump, says Flex Force. What is that? RMO? So yeah, down about 4% to 388, and did have a decent pump up from 4 to 5. So yeah, after the earnings, it looks like they pumped up on earnings news, and now they're back down all-time lows. So continuing with this huge downtrend that they've been on over the past while. So Romeo Power. Okay, so they beat estimates actually, and that's why they were up. Yeah, it was a decent beat of estimates. More sales than expected. Okay, so they were not doing bad, but looks like, let's see if we can't find the market cap of this. RMO. We'll see what they've got going on. $522 million market cap. Overall, not the lowest, not the highest though. Definitely not the highest. Lower than $1 billion market cap. It could be doing good in the future. If they can get their earnings in order, if they can really become profitable on their earnings, that could be very good. We'll see, though. They just dropped below 4 today. That had been holding as support. It wouldn't surprise me to see by the end of the day them getting back up above 4 and using as support. That could be a potential trade if you're interested in that. But we are in a pretty strong both long-term and short-term downtrend. So, we're moving down today. We're moving down on the year. We'll see. We'll see what happens with it. And Quentin White, let me do some digging. You might be able to find. I thought Gates made a deal since he was allowed to walk his daughter down the aisle after a disastrous TV interview about Island. Oh, yeah, I think I remember watching that. Where he looked very suspicious when he was talking with about Epstein. I remember he was looking pretty suspicious, but is going to trial. Is Bill Gates? Is there a trial? Okay. So the first thing that I get when I type in Bill Gates trial into Google is this article. And who's to say, what's real and what's fake and whatnot. But Reuters says, fact check, Bill Gates was not arrested as claimed by a satirical website. So let's see what this says. I'm not sure. I haven't heard about this whole Bill Gates thing. So social media users are sharing an article that falsely claims the U.S. military arrested billionaire and philanthropist Bill Gates. They certainly seem to like Bill Gates from the sound of this billionaire and philanthropist. Wow. So the post shares a link to an article published on realrawnews.com where the first paragraph reads, the U.S. military on Tuesday arrested Microsoft founder Bill Gates, charging the socially awkward misfit with child trafficking and other unspeakable crimes against America and its people. Okay, so content from Real Raw News has been debunked by Reuters multiple times before, with examples visible here, here, and here. The website states in its About Us section that information on this website is for informal and educational and entertainment purposes. The website contains humor, parody, and satire. We have included this disclaimer for our protection on the advice of legal counsel. The arrest is widely known figure, such as Gates, would have been reported by news organizations around the world since the publication of the article. Gates has been active on his Twitter page. Okay, so I don't know if he's been arrested. At least Reuters doesn't seem to think so. Obviously, that could be some story, but interesting. So let's see. We've got some comments going. Giacine Maxwell is going to trial today. Wow. May I want the juicy details? Just love listening to trials, says Quentin White. Yeah, I mean, I believe that was Epstein's wife, right? Let's see. Maxwell trial. Yeah. Trial begins Monday. So, on CNN, Ghislaine Maxwell's sex trafficking trial begins Monday. Prosecutors allege she created a network of underage victims for the late Jeffrey Epstein. That is unfortunate for her that she's going to probably be going down for all this. But, you know, when you do bad stuff, and it's not guaranteed. We'll see what the trial says, but you got to take the fall sometimes. Got to take the fall. So, Twitter names CTO Parag Agrawal as successor. Let's check Twitter now. Have they unhalted? It looks like no, they're still halted. Yeah. So Twitter's new CEO, Parag Agrawal, was formerly the company's CTO. Interesting. Parag Agrawal. So let's see. So let's pull him up right here. So Parag Agrawal is LinkedIn CTO at Twitter. Soon it will say CEO of Twitter. So cool stuff. Nice. Well, there you go. Parag Agrawal is an Indian-American technology executive and the current chief technology officer of Twitter. He is responsible for Twitter's technical strategy, machine learning, artificial intelligence, consumers, revenue, and science teams. So soon he'll be the CEO of Twitter. Very impressive. It seems like something must have happened. I mean, you know, this isn't, he's the CTO, granted. He's the CTO. But the fact that Dorsey stepped down so abruptly and that the board just panicked and picked this guy very rapidly, and it looks like they probably just picked him today. You know, they had to have some kind of news come out, and there couldn't be too much certainty surrounding Twitter. But, you know, we'll see. Funny how Jack Dorsey claims to step down as this trial starts today, says Quentin, I believe, talking about the Maxwell trial. Wonder if there's some conspiracy there. Could be. Who knows? Who knows? But Parag Agrawal, interesting choice. So the CTO, so he knows the company decently well. You know, he should be able to run the company. We'll see if he does as well as Jack. We'll see. I know a lot of people disagreed with Zach, but he was the same old, you know, people knew what he was all about. We'll see if Twitter does good after this. I mean, I'm very curious to see where Twitter opens after the halt. I'm very curious. So now we've got some people voting in the poll saying that some of them think that Twitter will rise. Looks like 38%, 37% think that Twitter will rise. 63% think Twitter will fall. We've got 38 votes in there so far. And Buddy B says, I got banned from Twitter for speaking truth. Twitter and Facebook is becoming more and more communism. Like, you have to watch what you say or you'll be suspended indefinitely. Yeah, and unfortunately, you know, that's the gist that I got. I was listening to a Jordan Peterson. It was Joe Rogan, Jack Dorsey interview, and he had on Tim Pool, I believe it was, and another specialist at Twitter who focused on, you know, the more censorship aspects of Twitter. And you know, it didn't sound good. It sounded like they really wanted to ban some people. You know, they seemed to justify it. They justified it well enough. And Zach Taylor, have a great day, man. Have a great day. See you in the next one, man. But they justified it decently, right? They made it sound like it was about safety, but some of the time they kind of got to the bottom of it as, you know, we just have some ideas about what we want to be allowed on the platform. And it kind of seemed like, you know, they were the overseers of it, and they could decide what was allowed to be said or not. And, you know, they justified it in their own way, and they said, we think this is why it should be limited in speech and whatnot. But I mean, overall, they made it sound very nice. You know, they know what to say. But we'll see. Now, hold on 1 second, guys. I do need to unlock my phone real quick. I'll be right back. I just need to check this text real quick. Okay, I have returned. So, Kitchener Leslie says, Tinkle time, you are wrong. I was just on my phone. I was just ignoring the screen real quick. I was sitting right here. Rocky Mountain Gobblers, what is TMTG? It's Trump Media and Technology Group. That's, yeah. So Trump Media and Technology Group is TMTG. It's what DWAC is going to become when it actually finally acquires Trump Media and Technology Group. So, when it fully merges, the ticker symbol will become TMTG. So that's what TMTG is all about. And Quentin says, "Bruh, Kitchener has made me laugh so much." He says good stuff. I will admit, Kitchener's a funny guy. And we're getting close to 11, which is technically, I think, when I have to end this. I got an oil change coming up today. Wow, look at what they've done to the phones. Look at this. This is crazy stuff. They made a huge big let's see if we can't turn that on, but look at that. They just they changed the UI completely. So cool stuff. But there you go. The phone has changed quite a bit. And Chess Melody, Sundial. Looks like we're getting a little bounce off of 63.5, but man, it's been a bearish day for Sundial stock, for all the cannabis stocks. But we'll check what they've been doing on Ortex. So this morning, at least, we had far fewer shares short. We'll see what happens. Maybe, yeah, it's still around there. Still around 283 million shares short on Sundial. So last Wednesday when we checked, it was at 313 million. So about 30 million shorts have covered their Sundial positions. And probably on Friday was when that was. I wasn't paying attention to stocks on Friday. I was on vacation, but Sundial, it looks like some shorts are starting to cover. Maybe this is as Sundial has gotten pushed down quite a bit, some shorts are looking to take a little profit. And potentially, now that they're taking their profit, they will not have too much of a problem with it moving back up. So hopefully we can start getting a turnaround in Sundial stock. Obviously, there's still a bunch of shorts in it. They're going to want to keep it down. Not all the shorts have covered, but some shorts are starting to cover. And, I'm just not sure how much longer they can really hold this thing down. I think that eventually some news is going to come out that pushes Sundial over the top and gets the shorts in trouble. We're just going to have to see. And Quentin White says 0.63 support. Maybe Sundial will buy back some shares today while it's cheap. I would hope. I mean, it's certainly looking like it's never been a better buy than now. But, we'll see what they do. They might want to use that share buyback to help push Sundial over $1. They might want it to start going on an uptrend on its own. Naturally, and then do the share buyback to help out with it to just get it moving even further, because they do need to get above $1 for 10 days. Maybe they're saving the share buyback so that when they get above $1, they can hold themselves there. There are a lot of potential strategies they got to be thinking of. They've got to do this quick though. They've got December and January, and then in February we're looking at delisting. So we'll see. So they got to get up above $1 before then. And Kitchener Leslie, what's the price target on Sundial? It's real tough to say what the price target is. I could definitely see, obviously, I think over $1 soon, right? I think that before February, unless they do a reverse share split or want to get delisted, I'm seeing it above $1 by February. But regarding the next time they really pump up, if we're talking about just a movement-based pump up, I could see them getting to 420. I could see that being a rallying call. Some of the apes from AMC and some game stoppers, some Wall Street Bets community gets in on Sundial like they did in the past. I could see us getting back up to 420 like we did this time. It says the highs were 396, but really they were 420 in the after hours. I could see us getting back up to 420. I could see us getting back up above 420 if we get legalization, and that would probably cause another movement-based pump up as well. I could definitely see us going, above 420 in that situation, but over the long term, I could see it, 10xing. I could see us over the next couple of years getting to $6. If we get legalization, of course, maybe they could hold it off another couple of years, but I just don't see it happening. I think that there's too much support for it at this point. I think that we're really on the cusp. We're really on the cusp, I think. So I think Sundial, I mean, it's tough to say exactly what the price target is, but I'm seeing good things for Sundial in the future. So where do you get shorts live updates, says Chess Melody? So I get the short updates on Ortex, ORTEX, and you can see it right here. It's a paid service though, so it costs about $80 a month. So if anyone wants to see the Ortex data, feel free to subscribe. I show the Ortex data for a lot of stocks pretty frequently. You can always ask about a specific stock in the comment section if you want to know what the Ortex data for that stock is. Then feel free to do that. And Abstract Artemis says Sundial to 420.69. Maybe if Elon Musk starts talking about Sundial, then maybe we could bump it up that high. If we get legalization and Elon talking about it, then yeah, I could see that happening. So on Ortex still, yes, on Ortex. That's what I use. So I'm just hoping they don't do a reverse split. I hope not. Abstract, I hope they don't. And Quentin White says $150 to $15 if we play this right, and shorts are dumb as I think they are. Hopefully that will. So if legalization happens and the buyback hasn't happened yet, my max target is 20-ish. Wow, that could be. I mean, who knows? They've got a lot of cash on the balance sheet. They could certainly buy back a lot of shares. And then if legalization happens on top of that, then yeah, that could be very good for them, right? They've only allocated $100 million so far to buying back their shares, but that they've got a lot of cash on the balance sheet, so they could buy back even more in the future. We'll see. We'll see what happens with them, but I'm very bullish on Sundial over the long term. It's probably one of my favorite stocks at the moment. Obviously, the big tech companies are doing pretty good, and we'll see what happens with Sundial. But I like it quite a bit. I'm happy with Sundial, and even though they haven't been doing all that much over the past couple of months, they have been falling. Or relatively stagnant. Even if you bought it in about 90 days ago, then they've been relatively stagnant. But I'm not too worried about Sundial. I think we're nearing the bottom of this downtrend. I just can't see them justifying much of a lower price, right? They've got so much cash on the balance sheet. And Quentin White says, Rob, you should do a longer stream one time. Yes, I might do a longer stream sometime. And the community got here is great. I completely agree, Quentin White. We have got some great people in here. We certainly do. Today though, I do have an oil change scheduled, not for a bit, but I've got some work that I got to take care of before the oil change. So, today is not the day that we'll do a long stream, but we will do a long stream one day, maybe on a very exciting day, not just a normal market day, but if Sundial's really, if we start seeing Sundial pump up big, then I could see doing a longer stream. I used to do the streams until 12, and, that was fine. I did enjoy it. But it was just a large portion of the day dedicated to sitting here. It was not good for my eyes, I could tell. So I do like to get out of here about 2 hours in. And Buddy B, I like you more than Matt. Thanks for sure, buddy. I appreciate that. I mean, Matt's a pretty cool dude, so I would not blame people for liking Pat more. And somebody said 7 hours later week. Better pay Rob for that. Yeah, that 7 hours would be tough. I see some of the streamers do it, but geez, I'm not gonna do 7 hours anytime soon. We'll see. Maybe we'll do it. And Wandering Mariner, love the channel. Have a great day. Maybe you should do longer streams on Fridays. Maybe Friday could be a good day for it. Yeah, it could be nice to do a long stream every now and then. And Jordan Peterson, peace, Rob. Have a blessed day. You too, man. All right. Well, it looks like everyone is ending the stream for me. Everyone's saying goodbye. I guess 11 was when I said I would end it. So people are ending the stream. Thank you guys for joining. It was great having y'all here. We'll be back tomorrow at 9, back to the normal schedule. We missed some days yet. Last week we missed Thanksgiving and Friday, Black Friday. So hopefully y'all had a great Thanksgiving. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. See you Tuesday. Have a good day. Bye, guys.